how I popped my head like a soda bottle. This is a new series I'm kind of doing because I think I've kind of quote unquote found a kind of content strategy. So I'm just going to be doing like this breakdown series where I tell you guys, I take you guys through how I did it. It's not a tutorial on how to do it. It's just like a breakdown on, oh, this is what I did, see what I did at all. So for the popping of head effect like a soda can, obviously first of all, we need our main footage, which is me acting as if my head got popped. So let's see that. So the whole stuff acted out normally, opening the bottle, drinking, and then doing as if my head got popped. Acting on 100. Yep. So we do that, and then we bring it back after my head has exploded back, and yeah, that's basically the main footage. So now, first effect in the main footage are the eyes glowing. So those are simple. How do we do those? We do that with a background first, as we can see here. It's quite hard to see, but we have background, then we have masks. So I'm masking, we basically mask the eyes out the background throughout. So we mask the eyes throughout the entire background so that when it comes here, you understand, you can see it here. You can see it on this track here. So this maxed background, orange background maxed out. Then we added glow layers to it. As you can see, we added glow layers to it. And then in this merge, we kind of like animated it so that it comes, as you can see in this last footage. We animated the merging of the glowing eyes to the main footage. We animated it so that it brightens up over time, and that is first effect, the eyes glowing. The next effect, as we know, is the poof, the explosion, and that is where we go into our magic software called Blender. So let's go there now. So here we are in Blender. I brought my footage into Blender, and one of the first things I did, because I don't know how people do this, like I don't know how to track a single point in Blender and still bring that point into like the 3D viewport. If anyone knows how to do it, please drop it below in the comment. But I basically hand tracked this empty following one of my buttons. So if we look at this edge, let's change. I hand tracked this empty following one of my buttons. Then I created a proxy mesh, which is this guy at this side, and then I made the proxy mesh a child to the empty. So the empty is parenting the proxy mesh, and I basically did that for everything. So we have the proxy mesh of my clothes, which is going to act as a collider. Then what else do we have? Let's hide the proxy mesh. We have the emission mesh. So this is where it's going to emit the liquid out of the proxy mesh. So as you can see, this is the emission mesh. It's going to emit the liquid out of the proxy mesh. Yep. Then we have these two things I put here. These two things were just to break up the liquid so that they don't just come out straight. So they kind of hit these two things, and then you understand, they kind of like scatter and make it all exciting. And then we have the liquid sim that we did right here in Blender, which is quite. Once I load the liquid sim, you see how everywhere will just lag. So watch. Yup. This is the liquid sim, quite a heavy sim as you can see, and quite an enjoyable sim. So these two things are kind of like making the sim break apart. If not, the sim would all go up straight. So these two things are kind of what is making it have all those details, splash and everything. So with the liquid sim, basic liquid sim, basically, I don't want to go too much into detail. So liquid sim, then I animated the speed, which is, if we look down here, because you can see it's already baked. And I animated the time scale to go from 0.8 to like point something, and then it was quite alright. Liquid sim now in Blender is more stable, so it's not like to crash like it used to crash before. But yeah, that's basically it. When you have the liquid sim, let's see the rendered preview. Yup, that is the liquid sim. Added lights to kind of mimic the lights I had. In render, I made this a holdout, so I want to cut out this sim, and then everything will be okay. And then I basically render this sim that we have here. This sim that I've created. And the sim is just rendered one go. Now we are going to see this in the future. So it is just rendered once. So the sim renders and stops here, basically. This is where the sim stops. Then I export this, and now we have to go back into DaVinci Resolve Fusion to do compositing. So yeah, let's go there. So back in Fusion, after I export my liquid sim, I bring it into Fusion. Let's see. Yup, so this is my sim. Let me show you guys better. This is my original sim I bring into Fusion. Then I color correct it to match my footage, you know. Then I add soft glow to just make it pop, just to give it that pop, because the Fanta in the bottle was actually glowing. So yeah, then I blow it out because it's not as sharp as this. And then I added motion blur. I didn't add the motion blur in Blender. I added it in what they call it, in DaVinci Resolve Fusion. So basically that the glowing eyes, then the liquid sim done in Blender, he explodes. Psh. Now for the liquid sim coming back into my head, because it kind of explodes and then I bring it back and then my head comes back. What I did is I just took that same sim. I took that same sim I had done in Blender. I brought it back and I reversed it. So I took the same sim that I just did of exploding slow motion stop. Then I brought it back and then reversed it so that it goes back. And I also sped up that reversing so it goes back faster. So that's why you can see it goes back really, really fast. So I added a time speed node, which is right here, to kind of remap the speed so it goes back faster. And yeah, that's basically it. And then the effect is done. At this point now, it's just music and everything to tie the whole video together. And that is basically how we have this effect of me popping my head like a soda bottle.